In life, we will meet resistance, which can leave us feeling worn down and worn out. But we can find a reason to keep going. Show up, push through, and never give up.
This week is the third week of our series, Never Give Up. If you remember, it's all about resilience, which is our ability to bounce back and grow stronger after we have struggled, failed, or faced hard stuff in life. So, question for you. How many think life is better with friends? I mean, friends make all the difference. I remember if you have a friend in class, how much better is that class? I don't care what kind of class it is, whether it's math, whether it's English. I still remember that. When I knew I had friends in my class, it didn't matter what you faced that year. If you remember, I was saying when I was younger, I was kind of shy and kind of quiet. So I had only a few close friends. So a lot of times I had to push myself to do different experiences or even ask for help. But there's some things you can't do without friends. There's some things you can't do without other people. One of those things is softball. For anyone who does baseball or softball or any kind of team sport like that, you just can't. You can't be the only one on your team. There's another time I remember is when if you remember, my husband's around here somewhere. But we went on vacation and we decided it looked fun to do whitewater rafting. Not something I would do alone, just saying. And it was pretty easy. But even then, there are times in my life that I'm stubborn, and it doesn't matter who's with me. If I'm there, I'm going to do it by myself. So one of these instances, and it seems trivial, a little ridiculous, was when I was in college. Me and my roommate, we didn't have a car at the time, so we decided we needed more water. So we wanted to go down to get a case of water. That's 3 blocks away, downhill. So mind you, we have to carry the case back uphill. But it was a nice day, so we decided to walk. But it was my money and my water, so we went and bought it. And I was stubborn enough that I had to carry that whole thing back by myself. Now, not saying my roommate wasn't strong. No, she was probably just as strong as I was. And in fact, she actually offered to help me several times. But why was it stuck in my mind that I had to do it by myself? I still don't understand it to this day. And let me tell you, the next day, I felt it. I felt every pain of my stubbornness because I don't work out. So I felt it in my arms and everywhere. Every time I had to carry every book I had for class. So some things can't be done alone. And some things are just ridiculously hard when they are. But we don't always live like that's true. There's a recent study out there that says 3 out of 5 people, so if you count out 5 people, 3 of you would say that you're lonely. Doesn't matter how connected you are or how into social media or how many likes you get on, I don't know, TikTok. That's the thing, right? But it doesn't matter. People still say that they're lonely. So walking through life alone can be a lot like walking carrying a water bottle, a case of water. And it's a struggle. And sometimes it hurts. And sometimes you have to stop. But there's reasons why we pull away from other people, isn't there? Sometimes when life gets tough, we don't want to bother other people. We think, like me, this is my case of water. These are my problems. I need to carry it. I need to do it myself. Sometimes we just hold things back from people. As I downplayed it, I was totally no, it's fine. I've got this. It doesn't hurt at all. I'm not struggling, even though I clearly could be seen struggling. And then we think life has to be all me. And we get that from everything around us. And I think it's better now. Sometimes in society, they try to push asking for help, but still, sometimes people view asking for help or going to other people as some form of weakness, when really that's your greatest strength. So what if building resilience is actually something you could do on your own? What if it's something we need other people for? So we're going to look at scripture today, and we're actually going to talk about a little drama that happened in the New Testament. We're going to talk about Paul again. So Paul, if you remember, is one of these leaders. He was a great leader in the New Testament. He built churches. He's helped start and raise leaders. He wandered all throughout the world, changing lives. But he didn't do it alone. He had his friends, Barnabas, Silas, and Mark. So they were going about doing great things together. But, as there happens in all friend groups, there was an issue. So Barnabas and Paul ended up having an argument. Paul approached Barnabas and he goes, you know what? I don't want Mark in our group right now. You know what? That last trip, he bailed on us. And I just don't think he should be a part of it. But there was an issue. You see, Mark was Barnabas's cousin. So if anybody experienced family drama, you know that Barnabas stuck by Mark. So actually, Paul and his crew went a separate way than Barnabas. And then many years go down the road, and they're still building, and Paul's still writing letters and everything to the churches. And if we remember from 2 weeks ago, Paul went through some hard stuff in life. So he was actually going through one of those things. He was actually put in prison for talking about Jesus. And he's by himself. So he sends a letter to one of the churches. And in it, he wrote, "Get Mark and bring him with you, because he is helpful to me in my ministry." Now, it's kind of weird, this phrase, because it's something that you just don't see if you're just reading the Bible straight out. But he says, get Mark. The same guy he didn't want with him, the same guy he thought bailed, is now helpful to him. So somewhere along the line, Paul's heart was changed. And he realized that you have to give people second chance. He realized his mission of telling the word, spreading Jesus, was more important than any of his pride, maybe some anxiety of fixing the situation, and even self-reliance. So letting people in actually helps build resilience. So we're going to never give up on others. This isn't saying that we're not talking about relationships or situations where others are harming us or others in any way. This is talking about those important relationships in your life, those relationships that help build you and help, just improve every day. It doesn't matter. Every relationship we have are going to have bumps in the roads. We have to fight for them and realize we can't push them aside. So why shouldn't we just give up? As I said, others are there to help us grow. We all need someone else's perspective. They help. Sometimes that perspective is just helping us see the good. Because when we're surrounded by all our troubles and challenges, sometimes it's difficult to really see what could be. The next is they just support us when we need it. In Ecclesiastes, it talks about 2 people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help, but someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Then it goes on, a person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but 2 can stand back to back and conquer. 3 are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. When it talks about the third, it's talking about bringing God into that relationship. A lot of times they talk about that during weddings, but actually it's open to any relationship you have. Best friends, anything. So we're here to help each other up. Doesn't mean we're not both in the same battle. Doesn't mean we're not all struggling. It means that we're here to support each other. So one of the things, when we're struggling is sometimes I'm carrying that water bottle case. And then you wonder why I didn't just say, okay, you can carry it for a little while. We'll take turns. She was here to support me, to help me. And it's something so trivial at the time, but it's at the same time, if I can't let people in the small things, how am I supposed to let people in the big things? So what can you do now to start allowing others to help you? So we're going to talk about those same 3 questions we talked about the last 2 weeks. The first is, what is happening? So are you keeping things from others? Maybe you don't have someone you feel comfortable opening up with or talking to. Are you being honest with yourself? Or do you just realize, do you feel lonely? The next question, what is true no matter what? So the world kind of tells you to be your own boss, that you have to do it on your own, to kind of take it on. I know you hear it all the time in music. I heard it all the time in music growing up. And it can be overwhelming. So you may not even know that that's the message you're getting. And in this, we hear in Hebrews, it talks about, let us hold tightly without wavering to the hope we affirm. For God can be trusted to keep his promises. And that's a truth for us, is that God can be trusted to keep his promises. So let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another. So we need other people. God actually created us that way. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to lean on others. As you hear through my stories, you know I struggle with the same thing myself. So it may just be the one thing you need. So what can you do? Well, reach out to someone. Someone you trust, someone you know. Just reach out to someone. Maybe that first step is figuring out, who do you trust? Who do you feel comfortable opening up with? And sometimes it doesn't even start off with just being like, this is my whole issue. Sometimes it's just sharing your ups and downs in life and what's going on. And then maybe after that builds, you can ask for their perspective. So the thing is to never give up on others. They're there to support you and walk through life with you. Not just for challenges you face now, but in the future. So that's one of the important reasons why we have small group. And I hope small group can, if it's not now, or hopefully will be able to be a safe place for you. That you can talk about your week's challenges, your yearly challenges, whatever you're facing through life. And just know that whatever you stay in small group, and this goes for leaders and for students, whatever you say in there should stay in small group unless we feel like you need some help. But otherwise, it stays in there. So one of the things I want you to think about this week is, who is one person in your life that you trust to help when life is overwhelming?